What's good, lovely people of the world? It's your boy Jay Skulls Phantom, and right now we want to discuss emotional maturity. Emotional immaturity is a form of self mismanagement because when a person is unable to manage their emotion, that's them becoming prone to chaos. That's them becoming prone to their feelings. And a lot of the times, feelings is not something we're supposed to stay in and be reactive in and stuff like that. It's something we're really supposed to be more responsive, more constructive, and stuff like that, because there is a point to reacting to reality is a mechanism within us and stuff like that, because we receive influence, we receive energy, we observe things all the time, right? But it doesn't mean that we should be coming from a space of reaction. We should be coming from a space of responding, because that will make us that will put us a step ahead of our own internal emotional turmoil and our own internal chaos and stuff like that, right? So, without further ado, man, let's get into this because I already wrote this topic down. And one thing that I also noticed about how I present my videos and stuff like that is that I tend to like over exaggerate with my energy stuff sometimes. While like YouTube is purely like a place where you broadcast information and shit like that, sometimes I find myself over exaggerating shit that don't really need to be over exaggerating. Some shit just need to be like communicated just simply, right? So I think that's what I'm gonna start doing from now on. It's just communicating shit. Cause I got like so much Leo energy in my charts. Sometimes I'd be like going all over the place. I'd be like, "Roar!" And there'd be no reason for that. you know. Without further ado, man, let me get right into this. Right, emotional immaturity is a form of self mismanagement. It's normal to receive and perceive external influences, but depending on how an observer processes that energy in motion, that emotion and stuff like that, right? They might be doing it on the healthy spectrum, aka emotionally mature, process emotion, aka how they feel, or emotionally immature, their feelings overrun them and override their logical thinking, rational mind, right? And whenever people are reactive and they let their feelings sway how they think, you know what I'm saying? Because what does that do? When you let your feelings overtake you, your people like that are subconsciously removing their ability to create balance and equilibrium, and therefore they're going to be prone to doing things based upon their feelings rather than observing logically what actually makes sense, aka making sense out of these feelings and looking at it from a practical standpoint as well, not just an emotional standpoint. Because you have so many different realms in this reality. Some people only like to most people just operate on emotions, how they feel about shit. But a lot of people don't necessarily use the air element, logic, thinking, looking at it from a logical, analyzing standpoint. Okay, does it make sense for me to be reactive and be emotional? And then look at it from an earth standpoint. Okay, is this practical? Does it make sense? Let's say, for example, a person is on the bus, right? I don't know, they missed their bus ticket, and now they're emotional, they're angry, and they're taking that out on the bus driver, and the bus driver kicks them out. Does that really make sense? Was that actually a constructive situation, or did they shoot themselves in the foot and acted a fool based upon how they felt because of their lack of ability to, observe their emotions from a logical standpoint to create equilibrium and balance, right? So, gotta be aware of that. And me saying it is not enough. This shit has to be done. It has to be put into practice. Because, like, can't be just talking a good game and not doing these things at the same time. That's the point of learning. That's the point of learning allows you to evolve as a person, and shit like that, right? But yeah, so when a person lets their feelings overrun them, what happens is they become reactive and prone to being chaotic. They start doing shit that doesn't really make sense, right? Unable to manage their heart chakra, overrun by their feelings. When you think about, because like when you think about the word process, processing your emotions, managing your emotions. These words deal with the logical thinking part of the mind, right? Meaning we can have an emotional experience, reactions, right? But we can balance it out with our logical thinking mind, right? To create balance in ourselves, to actually make sense out of how we feel, right? Because it's not just the heart that's experiencing reality. No, you also have a left brain, you also have a right brain, you also have your gut. So you really have so many different points that you can interpret reality from. But I'm assuming if you're watching this video, your starting point may just be the heart of how I feel and stuff like that, right? And sometimes how a person's feel is not necessarily the most accurate marker. I don't want to say the most accurate marker necessarily, because you should pay attention to how shit make you feel. And if you don't like, but fuck the feelings at the same time. Like, feelings are powerful because it cures our feel. It creates what we connect to vibrationally and stuff like that, right? And shit like that. So it's very powerful, but just speaking about it from the standpoint of reacting to stuff and allowing things to throw you off. Because your heart chakra, your waters, you're supposed to manage these waters, have these feelings where you want them to be and stuff like that. Preferably high vibrational feelings and stuff like that, right? But when we let the external world throw off our emotions, throw off how we feel via reacting to it and not actually constructively responding, not only do we mess up how we feel, especially if it's actually at a high vibration, but we also become prone to chaos and we put ourselves kind of like under the ocean. Like you see when someone is crying, their eyes are watering, is because literally emotions has overrun their nervous system. I don't say their nervous system is because I'm not a biologist exactly, but emotions has overrun their mind and body, and now they're literally crying and bawling out because they can't even look at things logically a person who's crying can't even look at shit logically because they're so involved, they're so engulfed in their emotions. They might even be like but see, like, and if that's a woman, then okay, it's okay. Especially if you're a man, you want to make sure that you're not necessarily in the space because, okay, your woman, she could cry, but if you're a man, you don't need to be doing that. You need to be doing the most, protecting her and, actually being rational so you can help her out and stuff like that, with her emotions or whatever like that. But point being is, like, the better one person can manage their emotions, the better they'll be better off in life ultimately. Because in a world where everyone is emotionally reactive and everyone lacks the ability to self-control and self-regulate themselves, it only becomes a benefit and it only becomes a form of knowledge and a form of wisdom that you can add to your everyday life that can have you like a step or two ahead and stuff like that, right? And that's the point of knowledge and these like laws of nature and all these different things, right? Logical thinking is so part of that, meaning we can have an emotional experience reaction, but we can balance it out with our logical thinking mind to create balance in ourselves from a practical standpoint. Does it make sense, or does it benefit me to allow myself to be overwhelmed, to be subjected and prone to chaos? Emotionally immature people are prone to becoming agents of chaos a lot of the times, right? So if people around you can't control their emotions, like probably yeah, be careful of them, because like you might say something and they might start to feel a certain way, and here they come getting angry and frustrated at you and shit because they can't even create equilibrium and balance in their minds. So now they gotta take out their feelings on you. Emotionally immature people go out of their way to take their feelings and their anger and frustrations on other people because of their lack of ability to create balance and equilibrium and harmony within themselves, because they're already probably lost within themselves. And if you come around them and they start reacting to you, because they might not be logical like that from the standpoint of they're overrun by their emotions easily, and it's like that, and then that's like that'll create a problem for you type shit. You might be with a person like that, you might be with them at the wrong place, wrong time. Someone might call, like, let's say for example, they black. Someone might be like, "Oh yeah, you fucking nigger," and then like, and here they come. "Oh, what did you say to me? I'ma end your fucking life." And you're next to this person, that's your friend, and here they are getting into a fight, and now you're getting dragged into it because they so emotionally reactive. You can't, like, they can't even observe shit, and you might even play the position of, oh, I have to save this person. No, fuck this person. Let them go through the experiences they need to go through, because they need to learn the consequences of being overly emotional and stuff like that, right? And chances are that's not their first rodeo either, so you don't want to join other people's rodeos and shit like that. Rodeo, you don't want to join nobody's rodeo unless they're goddamn healthy in the mind, because the mind is a goddamn mind. Real shit. The mind is a mind of ideas and, all types of shit. Whatever a person resonates with and shit like that, that's going to be their whole reality. So you want to make sure you find people that are resonating with good energies. This way that can rub off on you and that can, steer you towards a better direction in life, right? But hey, that's people's individual choices anyways. Right, so, and all this, again, is because of a lack of ability to observe the different parts of the self and create balance. Like, your heart chakra is only one part of you, but your logical mind is another part of you. So you need to, as the observer, you just jump between these points, and you don't let these points go out of flunk. It's like when you have too much water, you gotta create some fire. to balance it out. So you can create some new substance and shit like that. But if you have too much water, there's no fire. Just as an allegory, as an example, not like as an actual metaphysics and shit like that. If you have too much water, you have little fire. Eventually, the fire will overrun the water, and it will extinguish it too. And here comes a tsunami, internally speaking, and shit like that, right? So it's important to be able to observe yourself from different points, because you're just the observer. We're just the spirit. We're not actually like these organs. We're not these experiences. We're just managing, processing these things and shit like that. We're learning to, at least. The mind and the body are like a distillery of alchemy, basically, right? The better we can sit back and observe ourselves and manage ourselves, manage our energies, and transmute these emotions, the more power we have over ourselves and the more power we have over our reality, because not everyone has the ability to regulate and control themselves, or more accurately, even just respond constructively and shit like that. So, I think I said everything that needs to be done. I'm not going to extend this video more than I need to be. Make sure you just drop a like on this video, man, and then I'm going to see y'all motherfucking tomorrow, all right? Peace.